Big Z Reviews. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is the third and final of a trilogy of superhero films, and it might be one of my favorite movie trilogies of all time, because each one is amazing. So many other movie trilogies, there's one that's not as good, but for Guardians of the Galaxy, I really think that they're all amazing.
I formed the Guardians, met a girl, fell in love. That girl died, but then she came back. Came back a total dick.
Oh, please.
He left out some important information, but that is the gist of it.
So I'm getting to this movie a little bit late. I haven't filmed anything for a while, but I saw this in IMAX theaters. It was actually like my brother. He had unfortunately passed in early July from pancreatic cancer, complications from it, and he had been going in treatment for it for almost a year. And he still, even though it's really hard for him to go like for travel for long periods of time, like he wanted to go to IMAX, which is like for the closest IMAX to me is almost 2 hours away. So it's like almost a 4 hour drive and then like a 2.5 hour movie. But we really wanted to, and we went and we both absolutely loved it. And I'm really glad that we went to see it in IMAX. And then recently I saw it again at home, so to remind myself of how good it was. And I really loved Guardians of the Galaxy. It was again directed by James Gunn, and this might be the last thing he directs for Marvel. But it's just such a great cap end to the Guardians of the Galaxy. I really love what this movie does, because this movie is really about Rocket. This is Rocket's movie. This is Rocket's story. And of course, again, voiced by Bradley Cooper. And it really, because events that happen, he is on death's door. But when they try to heal him, they find out that he has a kill switch in his heart. Because they tried to use a med pack on him, it set off this kill switch, and they have to find whoever made him, whoever like took him from a normal raccoon and tortured him and made him into Rocket. And that is the High Evolutionary, played by Shukudi Iwuji. And he is really good. He is horrible though. This is a strong statement about thinking that any scientific experimentation on animals is horrible. And what it does, I love that this movie, it's Marvel, but it feels so different from other Marvel movies, because all of the other his Rocket's friends, you get a lot of flashbacks throughout the time, while the rest of the team is going on adventures trying to figure out how to save Rocket. Rocket is dreaming about his origins, and you kind of see it with him, and it is so emotional and horrible. But the funny thing is these creatures that are with him, they're so lovable, but then they're also so grotesque, and I just kind of love that. It's almost like a horror film, because of how the High Evolutionary's creation, so many of them are just absolutely grotesque, and it's not something you think you would normally see in a Marvel film, because it's just the originality and the weirdness of them is so interesting, and it's they're repulsive, but at the same time you love them. I love that aspect, and all the characters are great. You got Palm Clementif come back as Mantis, Dave Bautista as Drax, Karen Gillan as Nebula, Vince Diesel as Groot's voice, Sean Gunn, the director's brothers, as Kraglin, and Chris Pratt as Peter Quill. And, Peter Quill, he is still mourning after, the events of Infinity War, where his Gamora was killed, but then there's, the past Gamora that doesn't remember anything that they did is around. And so, that's how they set up the movie. Of course, that the Nebula calls in her sister to help them with a mission. So there's a lot of drama around that. And, there's so much great action and creativity and adventuring. And I say it too, there's one that scene, towards the end, there's, a big, spaceship hallway scene with like most of the Guardians of the Galaxy versus some of these like super monsters that the High Evolutionary made his troops, and like when it's honestly one of the best action scenes in Marvel. I really feel like it, and all the MCU. I feel this is one of the best action scenes ever. Love it. It's almost like I'm sure it's all so much CGI, but it's presented like a one shot, and it's just so cool. And there's so many great things about this film. It's so emotional, but like it's not. But it's like real emotion. It's not forced, And you've been with this crew for years, and it's just an excellent movie. That like I liked it just as much the second time around. That's one thing. Sometimes when I watch movies in IMAX, like they're never as good the second time around. But this, I still really loved it watching it again. And I probably give it like a 9.75 out of 10. I'm not sure if I give it 10 out of 10 yet. I need to watch it a couple more times. But it's an amazing film, and I would highly recommend it. Now it's on all digital. I think it's now. I think it's on Disney Plus now. I'm not sure, because I know I got the 4K Steelbook, and that like you enter the code, and I think once you enter the code, it automatically pops up. So I'm not sure if it's officially for free on Disney Plus or not. But I did watch it on Disney Plus. But thanks for watching, and if you want to see more of me, you can subscribe down below. Thanks.